The industry lies to new portrait photographers saying you need to be commercialized and safe if you want to start by making money. I personally did that and nothing happened. I only started getting paid when I stopped shooting the work that I thought clients would want to see and started to shoot the creative and stylized work I actually cared about. Safe work keeps you invisible and creative work gets you hired. And if you're serious about getting booked and making money from the work that you truly love doing, check out the Portfolio Mastery course in the top link below. Because the truth is, if you want to attract clients that will pay you for your dream shoots and for your stylized work, you need to stop hiding your creativity. The sooner you lean into this creative side, the faster the doors open. So I'm going to give you an analogy to help you understand this even more. So let's say there's two restaurants and both restaurants have the same goal of becoming a successful fine dining restaurant, but both of them have different approaches. Restaurant one, they started by doing fast food. They start by doing fries, burgers, pizza, because that's what they thought would be most popular and would get them the most clients, customers, etc. They do that for about 6 months to a year, but like I said, they have true passion for the fine dining aspect of their food. So they eventually just completely stop doing burgers and fries and hot dogs or whatever and make that transition into fine dining. And they don't get the reaction that they actually wanted. They thought that all the customers and all the clients or whatever that they attracted would love and be open to their fine dining, when, as a matter of fact, that's not the case. They lose most, if not all, of their customer base, and they're basically starting from the very beginning again. Now, restaurant two, on the other hand, they start by doing fine dining from the very beginning. They make the dishes, they do whatever it is, whatever it takes to build up this fine dining industry and business, and by the end of the year they are way more successful at fine dining than restaurant one at fine dining. You can see how restaurant one is at a massive disadvantage because yes, they made a lot of money in the initial stages from the chicken and burgers or whatever, but now they're basically starting all over again a year later because they didn't just decide to do it from the start. They wanted to do this first and then go into that, do the safe option and then go into the more niche and more difficult option. And a lot of difficulties come with that because you've got stuff like now they have to rebrand their entire thing. They have to learn how to create fine dining dishes, learn about the customer service that you have to provide, etc. When fine dining or restaurant number two, they had a whole year to master that in the first place. So by the end of the year, restaurant two is a 10 times better fine dining restaurant compared to restaurant one. And it's the exact same thing with your photography. You want to be creative from the very beginning or as soon as possible. Don't think that you're going to be all commercialized and safe and then land a bunch of clients and all of a sudden make that transition into the creative work or the fine dining. Because the only way you're going to be able to get the jobs that you truly want to get hired for is if your portfolio reflects those jobs. Again, don't just expect to do a bunch of safe commercialized corporate work, then all of a sudden you're going to get hired by a creative photo shoot or editorial or whatever, or a client that is open to that creative style. I personally made that mistake. I did the safe work, I did the boring lighting, the standard whatever it is, and yeah, I wouldn't get those jobs because I thought that the only way you can make money as a photographer is through this safe work, until I actually was an assistant for this big photo shoot. If you're in England, you know the football team Aston Villa, big football team in the Premier League, and last year they were shooting their kits for the 2024-2025 season. And I was on that shoot because I was assisting this photographer, I was helping him out. He's a fashion photographer. I met a bunch of different photographers on that day, and I looked at their portfolios and networks or whatever it is, and I found out oh my God, their work is so creative and cool and they got paid for those projects. And that made me have that realization that yes, you can get paid for the fun creative shoots, and not even just on that high level. A lot of those photographers weren't on these super high level at the time. There's some photographers that I spoke to a year ago, maybe now they're really popular and really successful, but a year ago they weren't all that, if that makes any sense. But you can see how they built up their reputation as a creative photographer. It's not like they were just doing boring shit. They just kept that creative and unique style, and now they've built up a reputation and a business, a profitable business of clients that want that style. It's about taking the risk now. Because yes, in those initial stages when you're trying to be creative and do that type of stuff, you may not even get a single client booking or whatever it is, because being creative is a very difficult thing to get into. It's not just like be creative and you'll get hired. Like, you need to have a specific strategy and method to your portfolio to land creative jobs. You might not find that out in the beginning stages, but you eventually will master that creative style. Just like how Restaurant 2, they mastered fine dining in a year, you can master your creative photography in less time. And I teach you exactly how you should approach your business and how you can land your dream jobs in the course in the top link below. Okay, so on to how to find your style and be creative. Because it's not just about being creative for the sake of being creative. There's a lot of photographers out there that essentially just make photos for other photographers to go, oh my God, that's so good, but clients do not care about it and don't want it. So how should you approach your portfolio building shoots or your photo shoots from now on, where it's creative, but it's also appealing to clients? Well, think about your dream shoot. What is that dream shoot? What brand is it for? What type of brand? What type of lighting? Go really specific here. Like, what type of lighting would it be? The types of models, the lighting, the color palette, location, set design, even the budget, etc. Write that down. Have like a brief idea of what you'd want to do in the future, like your end goal, no limits or anything like that. And then align all of your current work that you create right now, your portfolio building shoots, etc., to that end goal. Another thing that you can do if you don't really know your dream shoots, look at your favorite photographers. You probably have a favorite photographer, inspiration or whatever, and look at their work and look at why do you like their work so much? Like, you have loads of photographers on your Instagram feed or whatever that you love, but you don't know why you love them. Like, you don't know why you love their work so much, and you have to write down now, I'm telling you, write down why you like that photographer so much. Is it the lighting? Is it the color palettes that they use, the compositions, the lens choices, whatever it is, write it down and see how you can implement that into your own work. Even look at other forms of media. Look at paintings, look at movies, look at sports. I don't know, what do you like outside of photography, and see how you can implement that into your style. So first, look at your inspirations and why. Second, the brands that you want to work for. 3, the lighting. Number 4, the color palette. And lastly, the themes. For me, my inspiration, I love this photographer called Holly Desmond, Holly McCandles Desmond. I actually met her on that assistant job. We follow each other on Instagram. It's cool times, right? And she's really big now. She's shooting for all these massive brands, Nike, whatever it is. And I love her work. I love how like punchy and colorful her work is. The lighting is amazing. It's very like, it's a statement essentially. And that's why I kind of liking her work. And I wrote down specifically, like, what do I like about it? It's the lighting. I love the color palette. I love the themes that she expresses, the brands that she shoots for. Second on that list, the brands. What type of clients do I want to attract? For me, it's streetwear brands. It's like Adidas, Nike, that sort of thing, New Balance, whatever it is, like that, like sportswear, that vibe. In terms of lighting, you can see my work, it's very high contrast, it's very cinematic. I almost want it to be a statement in my work. Going back to the inspiration, I love cinematographers who, like, the lighting is so cinematic and high contrast. You got those harsh highlights, like the backlighting and the room lighting. I love that, and that's what I try to go for in my work. For the color palette, I like to go for quite punchy colors. I like the blues, the reds, the greens, etc. Even if there isn't much color in the photo, I like it to be very saturated and punchy tones. And then the themes I like to explore: urban culture, lifestyle, that sense of youthfulness. Like, the models that I use are quite youthful and quite exaggerated and are very like extroverted types of people. I also love mixing in like fine art imagery with the more casual urban streetwear culture. So I want you to do the same. Look at how I just like broke down each thing. Do it for yourself too. Like, what brands do you want to work for, what lighting, etc. And then you can find your style very easily from there. And it took me years to learn about how to create the perfect portfolio, how to attract the clients I truly wanted to work for, and how to stop attracting and getting hired by clients that want shoots and want the look that you don't really like to go for. You've probably had that before. If you've gotten paid in the past, you've probably gotten jobs that you don't really want to do, and they're kind of boring, and it's like, I want to get paid for those jobs, not this. And I teach that all in the Portfolio Mastery course in the top link below. Help you make that transition from a safe, boring photographer to a more stylized and creative one. I'll teach you the exact progress to building up a creative and stylized portfolio, and get paid for that. Don't just learn about, oh, how to make cool work, but also learn how to create that type of work that will attract clients and get paid. Know how to find models and stylists and makeup artists to work with for completely free. Build up that huge network within the industry that could lead to paid shoots in the future. Learn about social media marketing, etc. So if you want the step-by-step roadmap, instead of twiddling your thumbs and trying to figure it out for yourself for the next 6 months or year, because that hasn't made you any progress at all, I want to help you fast track your progress. So I want you to click the link below me to get on the course, and yeah, this will be very useful for you. But yeah, that's it for the video though. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this useful. Comment down below your thoughts. Let me know if you have any questions. Click on this video right here to learn more about portrait photography. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.